Worrying retirement trends post-2030 you can't ignore when you have a low income. Becoming a millionaire seems like a total impossibility. However, what if I told you that with $40 and a bit of patience, you could achieve seven-figure wealth with much less work than you would expect? I know it sounds too good to be true, but in a few minutes, I will share everything you need to know to succeed and also share a mistake that most people make when trying to get rich, which you won't want to miss. First of all, because I'm a numbers guy, I think it's better that before sharing all the tips and tricks you need to become a millionaire with a low income, you understand how the math works. If you can free up just $40 a week, which for most people is a couple of coffees or nights out at the bar, and invest it for the next 40 years, receiving the average annual return of the S&P 500 of 10%, you would have just over $1 million in 4 decades. Now, I know I said with just $40 at the start, but you and I both knew there was more to that statement than it clearly implied. Obviously, the scenario I just described is rather simplified, and there are a number of different factors that could impact the final outcome. For example, you might receive a higher annual return than 10% and have more money after 40 years, or you might reach the $1 million mark earlier. On the other hand, you might have almost $1 million in the 39th year and see a massive market crash just as you're about to cross the finish line. This is known as sequence of returns risk or sequence risk, which is the risk that an investor will experience negative portfolio returns late in their working life or early in retirement, or at any other time when they expect to rely on their nest egg to survive. However, this risk is out of your control. But what is under your control are the actions you take daily to ensure you continue to invest your $40 a week, which, if we look a little closer, should be manageable regardless of how low the income you are currently earning is. When I say manageable, this is what I mean. Let's say right now you are earning $40,000 a year after taxes. That would leave you with about $2,500 a month, of which we are saying you need to invest $160 to become a millionaire. That requires saving only 6.4% of your after-tax income, and if you are not already saving that much each month, just a few spending tweaks should get you there in most cases. For example, the average American spends $240 a month just on entertainment, which means cutting this expense can leave you with the money you need to eventually become a seven-figure individual. So far, becoming a millionaire seems as easy as putting on your pants in the morning, but despite this, most people don't manage to do it. Currently, only about 8% of Americans are millionaires, which means if you are able to follow the steps I share in this video and employ them for the next few decades, you will be part of a rather small but wealthy group of people. Talking about these steps, there are multiple actions you need to take to make your dream of becoming a millionaire with a low income a reality, the first of which is one that most people struggle with. See, everyone wants to become a millionaire unless you are a billionaire, but they don't commit to achieving the goal of becoming financially free. Unfortunately, this is where they go wrong. In fact, it's a bit like trying to lose weight. You might want to lose 20 pounds, but you might not be willing to do cardio every day, lift weights, or refuse to go out for a drink with your friends. Well, in the same way that you need to commit to a diet, you need to commit to becoming a millionaire. This commitment manifests in a multitude of different ways, the first of which is budgeting. As someone who has earned a low income for years and interacts with many people who still do, what I see often is that the less people earn, the more they allow themselves to be ignorant about their finances. Now, this isn't the case for everyone, obviously, but as you can imagine, if you have a low income and feel like you have no financial hope, you might reason that you wouldn't be excessively inclined to modify your budget. However, without one that frees up those $40 a week, becoming a millionaire will never happen. Fortunately, if you hate making a budget as much as I hate waiting for my luggage after a long flight, then I have some good news to share. No, it's not that I'll start carrying only a carry-on when I travel. It's that you can create a solid budget in just 5 minutes that will require even less time to manage. Curious? Let's dive in. Let me introduce you to what I call the split budget. After talking to many budget haters, I've learned that their biggest problem is having to separate all the costs, which increases the time and complexity of using a budget. That's why the split budget has only two groupings, spending and saving. First, set your savings goal, which, for the purpose of your quest to become a millionaire, should be at least $40 a week or $160 a month. Then, subtract this amount from your net income, and that's the money you have to spend on all your expenses for the month, like rent, groceries, and gas. The upside of this budget is that it will take you less time to create than that new recipe your girlfriend begged you to make. However, what you gain in time, you lose in transparency. What I mean is that you will have less visibility into where all your money is going, but at the end of the day, what matters is reaching your savings goal, which the split budget is able to help you achieve. However, having a budget and sticking to it are two different things, and the next step in this journey to millionaire status comes down to rejecting modern consumerism. No matter what you do these days, you are constantly bombarded with spending triggers. It could be an ad on YouTube, a post on Instagram, or a flyer you receive in the mail. Someone is always trying to pick your pockets, and if you have a wavering commitment to financial freedom, then it's easy to fall victim to their tactics, not to mention that you might also end up being your own worst enemy when it comes to spending, especially when your emotions get involved. For example, you might have a bad day at work and find yourself compulsively shopping on Amazon. Alternatively, you might end up at the store buying new clothes after the guy you had planned to go out with stood you up. The point is that financial success requires both a plan to defend against external threats and those that exist within us, and it can include things like reducing social media use or exercising when you notice your stress levels increasing. On a more positive note, what you will also want to do to turn your financial dream into reality is to take advantage of free money when possible, and probably the best option for most people to do this is to capitalize on the employer 401k contribution. For example, right now the average American company offers a 401k contribution of 6% of your salary, and about 86% of employers have this option available for those who want to take advantage of it. So, for example, if you earn $40,000 a year, your employer will match a contribution up to $2,400, which would help you greatly in your quest for financial freedom. And if you agree, let me know by clicking the like button below. Now, while most employers offer this means of investment, some do not, and that's okay because this is not the only option you have for investing. Many people prefer to self-invest, and that's fine too. However, there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. The wrong way is to spend a lot of time researching and buying and selling stocks. Why? Because no matter how good the investment you make with $40 a week is, it won't make a material difference to your wealth while absorbing time that is better used to learn more skills that will increase your income. The right way to invest is to set up an automatic investment into your preferred index fund and move on with your life. Each week, your contribution should be withdrawn from your bank to your brokerage account, where your preferred funds are purchased. And if you end up receiving a return similar to past performance, you should be set up for future financial success. Now, I like to tell people to set up this type of system not only because most people are lazy but also because it's a great way to combat the biggest obstacle to this plan working, which is impatience. We live in a world today where everything is instant. We have instant meals, instant messages, and instant headaches when you forget to wish your girlfriend a happy birthday just 1 minute after midnight. Because of this, we want everything right now, and this is particularly true when it comes to financial success. However, in trying to accelerate this process, we seek shortcuts, but as wisdom teaches us, the longest way is often the fastest. But given that you probably don't want to accept this hard truth, I will share with you the only way to accelerate this process, which is to earn more money. Now, this will inevitably lift you out of the position of a low-income earner, but I imagine that is already something you are striving to do, and let me tell you, it's worth it. If you simply doubled your monthly contribution by working a few extra hours a month, you would more than double your future wealth or reduce your time to 7 figures from 40 years to just 33. And given that I just saved you 7 years of your life, do me a favor and click the subscribe button below if you haven't already. I appreciate it very much. So, if you employ all the steps I just shared, you will become a millionaire. I can promise you that. However, when you get there, you might have a rude awakening that I want to talk about now. I'm sure you've heard about this nasty thing called inflation, and this financial phenomenon can ruin your future rich lifestyle if you let it. What do I mean by this? Let me explain. See, it's great talking about investing money every month and playing with the return figures to see what it takes to become a millionaire. However, I've noticed that every time someone sells you the dream of this path to wealth, they leave out one very important point, which is the effects of inflation. So, to avoid being another dream seller with compound interest, I have to reveal what inflation will do to your money when pursuing this path to financial success. If we assume an average inflation rate of 3% for the next 40 years, that $1 million we talked about will have a value of about $36,000. So yes, on paper, you will have $1 million, but when bread costs $9 a loaf and houses start at $1 million, those 7 figures in your wallet won't take you as far as you thought. So, what I suggest people do is to consider inflation before starting their investment journey. So, in this case, if you wanted to have $1 million in 40 years, assuming an average inflation rate of 3%, you would need to invest to reach a target of $3.5 million, or contribute $130 a week for the next 4 decades. Fortunately, I learned how punitive inflation is for our goal of retiring as millionaires, and this led me to start working as a freelancer online. Now, I earn a few dollars a month and teach others how to do the same, which you can learn more about by following the link I left in the description below. Now, I know how paralyzing inflation is for your future wealth is not the news you wanted to hear, but it's better to be prepared and adapt accordingly rather than get to 40 years and regret never knowing this crack in your plan for financial success. Unfortunately, this is a truth about money that the rich know and most people don't. If you want to learn other money rules that the rich keep hidden from us, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. In the comments, share your direct experience related to the topic covered today. We want to learn more and will gladly respond to any questions. Comment to let us know how we can improve. Your like would make us happy. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video.